everyone, and welcome back to Carla. Today we're diving back into the biggest hull repair we've tackled so far. We're replacing a seriously corroded section of steel, and Claus has been getting creative with some new clever ways to handle those heavy steel plates solo while I'm away at work. It's all about finding smart solutions when you're working alone, so stick around to see how he pulls it off.
Well, I'm finally back from work. I've been at work for 4 weeks now. I'm finally back, and it's time to get started on Carla again. Every time before I leave for work, I pack her all up so she's easy to manage for Heidi if there's a storm, if there's anything. So first thing I have to do is unpack her. We'll have to undo all the lines and remove some of the tarp up here so that we can get to work on the side of the hull where we left it 4 weeks ago. Sorry about my voice. I've just had something with my throat. I don't know, a flu, I think. So yeah, I'll do my best. Let's get going.
So now it's just a matter of picking up where he left off before heading to work. He'd already marked out his guidelines, so he grabbed the big angle grinder and got straight to it. Honestly, we're so glad we invested in that large angle grinder. It just eats through the steel and makes the whole job way easier. Removing the old plate from the frames is tough enough, but this tool has been a total game changer.
Okay then. I'm almost all the way around with the grinder now, so we should be able to get it loose. I just want to say one more time, the reason why we're doing it in steps like this. First I did this step last time, now this, and then lastly we'll do the bottom, is because I don't want the whole aft end of the boat to sag down because we remove all the structure in the hull. So now we're going to replace this and replace the struts in here, so we will have a stable boat before we take out the bottom plate. But let's have a go, see if it's enough. Wait. What? Look at that.
Even though we know that doing this makes Carla stronger and safer in the long run, there's still something really strange about cutting massive holes into your own boat. We never imagined we'd be doing projects like this when we first set out, but hey, here we are. Every time we make a big cut like this, it feels like a huge deal, and we have learned a lot along the way. Alright, let's head over to the workshop because it's finally time to break out one of the brand new steel plates we ordered. We've already used up 2 full plates and now we're getting started on the third.
Okay, here we are. Now we have to try to copy this one into a new plate. And this part is quite straightforward. I want to cut off this piece. Oh, we're not going to cut it off, but I want to do it in 2 pieces. A small piece and a big piece. I don't want too many corners and have to adjust it all. It's easier to have 2 smaller pieces and just connect them. And it's 15 centimeters of welding, so should be okay. One thing I have to remember to take in account is this plate. This is how it used to be on the boat. And I cut it a bit under this beam piece of round iron. So we have to remember to add this small section onto this plate, because when we bring it to the boat, we're going to connect it behind this piece of round bar metal rod. Heidi was out at a local machine shop, and she got this piece of rod, iron rod, metal rod. It's 16 millimeters, 16 millimeters, and that's just around the same as the one that's been used over here. And apparently it's put in the corner and welded at both sides and from the outside and everything, so it makes a stronger corner and also makes some kind of bracing or beam in the boat that's going horizontally. So we'll have to remember to put this back in as well.
We had ordered a whole lot of new steel. Well, at least it felt like a lot. But that's just how it goes with these projects. You either end up with too much or not quite enough. One thing's for sure, you never seem to order exactly the right amount. We've already had to place a few extra steel orders along the way, and yeah, shipping costs can definitely add up, but sometimes that's just part of the deal when you're rebuilding a boat like this. Does anyone actually manage to order the perfect amount of steel on their first try? Let us know in the comments. Do you overbuy, underbuy, or have some magic formula we should know about?
Okay, I brought the new sheet over here and I just put it in between, and it fits quite nicely actually. So I think the next step is to cut this edge to the correct angle, and then put the other plate up against it, cut the other plate so they fit together at the same angle. I think I'll take the bend around here and here, find the middle-ish, draw a line, and then just cut it. Do the same on the other one. And yeah, then weld it in, I guess. It sounds easy enough. So let's get going. This time I have to be a little more prepared than normal. The sheet that we're going to hang up and fit now is a little bit heavier than the previous one, and this time we have to fit it upwards. I have to hold it up against the hull while I'm sitting on the inside welding it. So I made these two eyes to weld onto the plate on the inside, and then we'll take some small pieces of flat iron and weld to the outside so it can't go through the hole. It can only stay level with the sides of the hull on each side. So hopefully, with it not being able to come in through the hole, but these holding it in there, I should be able to let it go and work the welder instead. So let's try this.
If you're enjoying the journey so far and want to support the project a little bit more, check out our Patreon. Right now we're offering early ad-free access to all of our videos. So if you'd like to see what's coming up before everyone else and help us keep Carla moving forward, we'd love to have you aboard. You'll find the link down below.
Well, it worked. It definitely wasn't easy, but it worked. Of course, I need to remove it again. I have to sharpen the edges on the hull and clean everything. But I thought it was quite important to bring it up here, see how it fits, and it does fit quite nicely. I have to have a look over there. I think there's not enough room for me to weld, so maybe I have to grind some more off, but other than that, I think that's okay. And I'm going to weld all of this from the inside. Of course, we'll push it a little further this way because we don't have enough room over here, so that's okay. Push it a little more up, and then we have to sharpen these edges so that we are able to give a good weld from the inside. Then we're going to take this steel bar and put it here, and then weld that again and weld it together with this one, and the same over there, so that it's connected with the rod going here already. So yeah. Well, this is definitely some of the more specialized, difficult stuff to weld. Now we have all sorts of different weird angles and angles going two ways, and yeah. I'm happy that I practiced on all of the straight bits around before I started doing the hole, and that was kind of the thing from the start. I wanted to start on the top and then increase the difficulty, and that's what we've been doing. So yeah. That works. It's a little hard to get it up there because I have to hold the plate while I'm turning and tightening this one. But it's definitely much easier to work on now. Now I can, with the screwdriver, just edge it to one side or the other, and up and down until it's perfect, and then I can weld it without having to hold anything. I can take my time, perfect. Maybe I should have done this before. Oh well. So now it's time to bring out the welder. I have it with me already. It's over there. I just have to set up the gas and everything and put some power to it. And then we can start tagging in this one. And well, get done with it. Okay, I got it all lined up. Everything is ready. The welder is going, everything. I just forgot to clean the edges. But I don't want to remove it again. So I'll have to try and do it without removing it, because getting it up there, getting it to sit right there again is quite hard. So I just hope that the vibrations from the angle grinder when I try to clean the edges now won't mess too much with it, but yeah, we have to. Well, we got it up, and I removed the winch on the inside. Now we can remove the small pieces of flat iron on the outside as well and get to grind it properly so that it's ready for welding. I also got myself a pair of long sleeves and a pair of pants. Not because it's gotten cold, but because I don't want to get sunburned. I got quite sunburned in my face this weekend because we went sailing in the small boat, and I of course forgot sunscreen on my face and a hat. Who needs it? So yeah, I got quite sunburned. I don't want to do that today, so that's why I got the long sleeves. And we're going to weld for an hour. I'm definitely getting sunburned if I don't wear long sleeves and long pants. I also got myself a new glass for my welding mask. So yeah, but I do think we need to put up some kind of tarp, because when I was welding before, I felt the wind coming in through the hole, and that will ruin the welds. So we better put up some kind of tarp so we don't get the wind in there. Although it is quite nice having the wind in there, especially with the warm clothes now, because it's it's really hot in there. But yeah, you can't get it all. So I better get going and see if I can find some tarp somewhere.
Now it's time to cut some steel rod so we can replace the section of chine bar we removed. Got to keep the strength and structure of Carla intact. And a big thanks to Carl Thor for pointing out the proper name for it. We really appreciate all the feedback and knowledge that you guys share with us. It really makes a big difference in this project.
Well, look at that. We finally got it back in. I welded in this piece of round bar yesterday. I wanted to talk to you about it before I did it, but the welder was simply so noisy I couldn't hear myself think. So I just welded it in, and we can talk about it today. This piece of round bar is, I didn't know how to put it in, so I had to figure it out along the way, but I actually think it went alright. As you can see, I have to grind away. Where I connected the two bars, but I wanted to fill it out or build it up with weld, and then we can grind it away and make it look like the other sides. But yeah, all in all, it went really well. I was very eager to put this round bar in, especially before we start taking away more of the bottom of the boat, because I really want to keep the structural integrity of the hull. I'm really afraid that it's going to sag suddenly if I remove too much of the hull. I know I've talked about it before, but it's in my mind the whole time. So I know I could jack it up. I could use a jack and some timber or something and jack up the whole rear end of the boat so it won't sag. But I wouldn't know where to do it, and if I did, it would take me a long time to do it. I know, of course, if the boat sags, it's going to take me even longer. But I'm pretty sure that if I just keep enough plate and steel bars in the hull instead of removing everything, I can keep it from sagging. So let's try that. I hope so. So now it's time to have a look at the small plate. Well, it's not enough to take a look. I think I'll have to make one. Go make one in the workshop now and bring it over here and weld it in. Then we can start start working on the bottom of the boat. Sounds like a plan. Okay, well, as you saw, I just fitted the plate and it fits nicely, actually. At least lengthwise, it's perfect. And that's the important part. That's what has to fit. Down here we have to shorten it anyway, because it's way beyond the curve of the hull. So we have to shorten it where it's going to connect with the plate coming from down under. Not Australia, just here. Yeah, so now it's time to round the corners. Take away this small wedge. It's really hard to get in here because I have this small room, and get in here with the grinder and make it nice. It's really hard, but it's my own fault. I decided where to cut, so I'm not complaining. And then we have to ready this one as well. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, I actually managed to get quite a good weld through all the way around, except this corner over here. This corner I knew when I welded it, I knew that the gap was too small. Unfortunately, I saw it when I had when the plate was already fastened in the boat. Otherwise, I would have to take out the plate, grind the corner again, and put it back in. Because, as you know, I can't grind a corner wider when it's in here. I simply can't get the grinder in there. So, I tried, and I failed. I turned up the welder, and hoped for the best, and hoped that I would get a burn through, but I didn't. So now we'll have to grind it from out here. I'll just grind it until I can't see any signs of a groove anymore, and then we'll weld it, and then we'll grind it again. The outside has to be grinded flat anyways, so it doesn't matter if I make a big welding out here and then just grind it away. It's the inside that matters. Yeah, but otherwise it's really good. I also have a point up here and a point up there from yesterday, where I have to just grind and weld again from out here and up there. I will see. I have a few spots. Normally where I take it in place, if I don't clean it properly and make a new groove probably with the grinder, it'll make a bad start, and the bad start will make it not burn through. I hope you know what I mean. But yeah, back to the grinder.
That's it for this video. Yeah, it ran a bit long again, but we know you can handle it. Next time we'll take a look further down the hole below the waterline, and surprise, we actually find a spot where the steel was completely rusted through. We didn't expect that at all, but it's a good reminder that all this work is really worth it. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, it really helps us out. And as always, feel free to leave any questions, advice or comments below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.